Understand, Kendrick, he's hitting each and every single layer. He's getting the money, he's getting the attention, and he's being genuine. It's true art. And he also still has his respect. Like he was talking about, Drake was willing to give people Bitcoin. And they said, nah, we still can't do that. Nah. And Drake, he doesn't understand that because he can buy all of his friends. Doesn't work on people that have souls. Hey, y'all see what's going on, man? You see Kendrick Lamar and SZA's Luther officially becomes the longest charting #1 single released by a rapper this decade at 12 weeks. 12 weeks. It surpasses Roddy Ricch's The Box. And shout out to Roddy Ricch because that's a major accomplishment. 11 weeks, Roddy Ricch The Box. That was a huge, huge smash. Shout out to Roddy Ricch. And an even bigger shout out to Kendrick Lamar to surpass that. Like, understand this entire narrative that's been going on since the beginning of this beef, that Kendrick Lamar is almost like not just a boogeyman in a good way where he's terrifying, but in a way that it was almost like a mythological figure because he was gone for so long. He was gone for, they was talking about 5 years. That's one of the biggest things that J. Cole and Drake was trying to insult Kendrick. That was the biggest insult, the biggest diss. So for him to come back from his slumber and dominate all 2024, and this is just a small part of it. We can keep going. And look, this is yesterday. Kendrick Lamar's GNX 24 weeks is now the third longest reigning rap album in the top 5 of Billboard 200 this century, surpassing Damn 23 weeks. So his only competition is himself. This is crazy. So GNX was a surprise drop after he had this entire almost mixtape of diss tracks. And he has put none of those songs on this album. And this album is still doing what it's doing. Like, understand, he was making this album in the middle of making his diss tracks. And then once again, it's a surprise drop. So when we go back and talk about these things in history, even after the anniversary that we just had, we got to talk about all of these things. We got to talk about the entire landscape of what's going on. Understand, these weren't just drops. These were moments, and these moments were, they were so dependent on timing. And it just shows artistry and craftsmanship and his ability to create. Going back to instant gratification versus delayed gratification. Someone who's working in the gym, doing the behind the scenes work to physically do the breath control, mentally train his brain, and spiritually do the shadow work. And then you see the instant gratification. And that's what this battle was about the entire time. Instant gratification, delayed gratification. So once again, you see Kendrick in 2025 so far selling out stadiums, breaking records, selling out stadiums. Almost every night he's breaking a new record. Once again, competing with himself. 6 billion streams. Broke that record for 100 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Highest money grossed at a concert and still counting. Once again, like I said, each and every single night he's breaking his own record. He's competing with himself. He's literally shadow boxing with himself. And on the other side, you got Drake, 4.5 billion streams. That's still amazing. Understand, Drake is a streamer. That's what he does. Figuratively and literally, he's gonna become a streamer now. Because Kendrick got Drake out here signing kick contracts. But once again, canceling tours. Drake, y'all remember, he just had to cancel his tour. So, like I was just talking about, when we go back in history and we tell this story, we have to tell the entire thing. Understand, Drake was out here canceling his Australian tour while Kendrick was breaking stadium records. And understand, this is one of the first, I'll say, hip-hop stadium tours. The first to ever do the Super Bowl. What we doing? And Drake is canceling shows. Not only that, he had to lower the ticket prices. Once again, we got to tell the entire story. And then you got the court case. So these are the biggest moments from Drake out of this year. Of course, he has no Kia. It's still doing his thing. But Drake, his standard is not just one song. That's not it. Remember, at one point, GNX was covering up the entire top 10. Kendrick was covering up the entire top 10. He was going crazy, man. Let's go back to this. Kendrick Lamar has now earned over 6 billion streams on Spotify in 2025. He is on course to have his biggest year ever on the platform. Come on now. In 2024, we thought that was the year. We said, oh man, this is it. Can't get any better. But now you just see this compound interest from the beginning of the year. We had, once again, the Super Bowl, the Grammys, the stadium tour kicked off. And Drake, he just keeps making things worse. Everything that Drake is doing is making everything that Kendrick is doing better. So it's like they're foils at this point. So Drake, he's aligning with Kanye. And you see Kanye, he's getting banned everywhere for making Nazi music. And he's hanging with academics who's going on rants against black women once again, who's grooming children live. Then you got Andrew Schultz, who's on Drake. He just keeps making things worse. Everything that Drake is doing is making everything that Kendrick is doing better. So it's like they're foils at this point. So Drake, he's aligning with Kanye. And you see Kanye, he's getting banned everywhere for making Nazi music. And he's hanging with academics who's going on rants against black women once again, who's grooming children live. Then you got Andrew Schultz, who's on camera publicly talking about everything that Drake is doing is making everything that Kendrick is doing better. So it's like they're foils at this point. So Drake, he's aligning with Kanye. And you see Kanye, he's getting banned everywhere for making Nazi music. And he's hanging with academics who's going on rants against black women once again, who's grooming children live. Then you got Andrew Schultz, who's on camera publicly talking about sexually assaulting another man and laughing about it, and then still defending it. And just look at all the people they're aligning with. Look at the chess moves that Drake has, and then you see all the chess moves that Kendrick is doing. Not only just talking about the music, let's talk about the Chanel. Let's talk about him doing the Gatorade commercial. Him getting all these sponsorships and brands, and you just look at all the people online supporting him, doing the mustard memes, and you see so many people that are choosing the side of Kendrick. I wouldn't say just choosing the side of Kendrick, but just choosing the side of artistry. That's what everyone is choosing. That's the reason why we're going back to the 20v1 situation. It's not 20v1 because everyone hates Drake. Well, it is that, but it's just because of what Drake represents. And then the ego of Drake to think that he can go against hip hop. He can go against culture. That everyone will go against their own well-being so Drake can win. And that we're not doing that, man. We're not doing that. Yeah, you're right, Justin. Drake was hoping that Kendrick would just go away. The exact same way that Kendrick is used to doing. He's used to popping up, dipping out. But Kendrick said, nah, I'm here to stay now. And understand, going back to 2020 and us being in this pandemic and having a lot of time to sit with our own thoughts, you can see, well, if you listen to Mr. Morale, which Drake obviously didn't, if you heard the Hard Part 6, he's just skimmed through it. But he didn't truly understand that Kendrick, he was in his slumber for a reason, because he was preparing. He was working. Kendrick was just sitting at home doing absolutely nothing. Once again, going back to what I was talking about, we have to tell the entire story of this entire moment, because Kendrick not only dropped all of these tracks and had them prepared, had Drake completely researched. He had everything well prepared and documented. He was ready. He was on go. And then he had an entire album. Not only is it just an album, it was a surprise drop with, understand, like, and it's still understand 6 billion streams. It's still going number one. It's still breaking records. And it's all completely new music. So Kendrick, he's not just a moment right now. Kendrick, he's starting a movement. So now you see all the people that are coming behind Kendrick. You see not just in the music, but you see it in the movies. You see it in the just art realm in general. So many people are inspired by Kendrick. Just his ability to go on the Super Bowl and be genuine, be himself. And I understand that was one of the biggest complaints. People were saying, well, he didn't he didn't play a lot of the hits, and he didn't go and play the hits like he did during the pop out. But he kept it authentic. He kept it black. He still wrote all these different records. He's still selling out these stadiums. And once again, going back to, we spend money on things that we value, not what we like. So people are getting up and going outside, packing out stadiums, singing their heart outs, losing their voices to go and see Kendrick and SZA. Like, come on, man. And I see you, I see you, Justin and Dyson, talking about that club narrative. That doesn't make any sense anymore, especially considering a lot of people are not going to clubs anymore. The club is dying out. So if we want to talk about the music industry and the change and the cultural shift, a lot of people are staying inside. Once again, going back to 2020, the pandemic has changed a lot of people. So look at how we consume music. Look at Spotify. That's the reason why we talk about Spotify streams so much, because most of these Spotify streams are coming from individuals. It's not just one person playing a song and a party is receiving the song. It's individual people that are boosting these streams, because people are going and listening to these music in their headphones in the car. We have the option to choose our music. And that is the biggest difference maker, is people are going out of their way. This is not just about playlisting and algorithms. People are going out of their way to press play, to choose to listen to Kendrick. Going back to what I was talking about, people going out of their way to go outside, put their hands in their pockets and pay their money in this economy for a tour, for some music. Yeah, that's completely different. All things popcorn. Absolutely. It's a win for artistry. Absolutely. And it just gives people hope. It gives so many different people hope, because understand, Kendrick, he's hitting each and every single layer. He's getting the money. He's getting the attention. And he's being genuine. It's true art. It's true genius. And he also still has his respect. Still has people that love him and respect him. People that won't sell him out, even if it's for, like he was talking about, Drake was willing to give people Bitcoin. And they said, nah, we still can't do that. Nah, we have nothing on Kendrick. And even if we did, we still wouldn't give it up. Like, that's, you can't buy that, literally. You literally cannot buy that. And Drake, he doesn't understand that, because he can buy all of his friends. He can use his money, his power to bully his way and get his way, and doesn't work on people that have souls. Doesn't work. And you see, this was from a few days ago. It says Kendrick Lamar heading back to the studio in NYC. He's still working, man. He's still working. He's in the studio. He's in the gym. It's almost like Floyd Mayweather. How you see him always in the gym. He's still professional. He still can go at his age. It's Kendrick. He's in the zone right now. He's locked in. He's locked in. He's not going anywhere at all. Even going back to his artistry, understand he still has his movie coming out. It was postponed, but he still has it coming out, the one with the South Park creators. And he still has the PG Lang entire entity. Then he has, like I said, the Chanel ambassador. And yeah, he's going to go crazy. Yeah, he's not stopping at any time. And even talking about him being on Playboi Carti's album about 3 times. He's not done. Once again, he's going back to, he has to replace these people. And Kendrick, he's also inspiring me. He's inspiring a lot of people in this hip hop new media. Because I'm celebrating my 1-year anniversary. Because if you know from this channel, my first reaction was J. Cole's 7-minute drill. And that was the first reaction, and I got on a roll after that. But Kendrick, he's really birthed a lot of these new channels. A lot of us. So it wasn't just a beef with Drake and Kendrick. Look at new media and the old media. So appreciate you, Kendrick, for sure. And let's talk about this. This is the Thunderbolts director. And he's talking about working with Kendrick and Baby King. If y'all know Thunderbolts, that's a new Marvel movie that just came out. So understand, Kendrick, he's taking this completely different role. Instead of just becoming a musician, he's really taking a step back and becoming a true sensei, really an OG curator. He's taking over and replacing the role of Kanye and Drake and what they were doing as curators in our culture. And going back to how he inspired me, he understands that we have to replace these people. We can't just sit back and just protest and say, hey, we don't like you, academics. We don't like you, Drake. We don't like you, Kanye. We have to literally replace these people. We have to talk about it and do it. So Kendrick, he has to replace Drake. He has to make the hip hop music. He has to have the streams and the kids and the youth and the summer anthems. He has to have the club and he has to have all that. And he can have the substance. We have to see that as a people to see that it's possible to have both. You can be abundant. You don't have to choose your soul or money. So even going back to me, how he inspired me, I had to understand that we got to get No Jumper out of here. We got to get academics out of here. We got to get these losers out of here. So I started this channel. I understand. I can't just talk about it. We have to replace these people. So this is a movement that we're a part of. So I'm going to try to look at this real quick. She's talking about how Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar videos influenced the Thunderbolts director. And y'all, like I said, Thunderbolts, y'all know Thunderbolts. It's Marvel. So understand, look at how he's influencing culture in general. Just not just hip hop, not just black culture, but just art. Dice and Vlad too. Yeah. Once again, can't forget Vlad. Can't forget him at all.
So yeah, like I mean, in the something that happened during the pandemic was shooting these music videos, and they were these like long Wonder videos. I did one for Baby Keem and did one for Kendrick, and we had this time on our hands, and we went with those guys at PG Lang down to IMAX headquarters because we all got to watch Tenet there together, and then we actually got to have this great experience of like those music videos and the way they were filmed, and they're all in a Wonder and these really spacious environments. Like we made IMAX versions of those videos and got to watch them, and those are in the full 4:3 aspect ratio, and play them at IMAX headquarters, and like to get to see it on that scale. So like that was where it really started, was just talking to those guys about that and all of like the kind of proprietary stuff that they have down there that you can do to get things to be practical on that scale and really resonate, and then getting to come back with the whole movie in hand to work on it. Just really.
So I'm telling y'all, like Kendrick, he's already being studied in schools and universities. So I don't want everyone to keep limiting him to being just a rapper. He's more than just a rapper at this point. So to just say he's a hip hop artist, nah, man. The legacy that he's built is going to be bigger than just the music. The music was just one of the mediums that he uses because it's easily digestible, because once it's music is a universal language. But like you see, once again, going back to instant gratification versus delayed gratification. Y'all see, this is the work that's been done behind the scenes. You would never even knew this. When you go into perfecting your craft, studying, watching film, you don't take the shortcuts. You stay humble. And when I mean stay humble, I mean you stay grounded, literally. You follow the foundation. You don't skip over the scientific method because you believe it doesn't apply to you. You do everything. You go through your hypothesis, you do the research, you do the experiments, and then you come to your conclusion. And then you move on from there. And you keep doing it over and over again. Yeah, all things popcorn. That's when I said sensei, that's the same thing I was thinking about when SZA was calling him, he's just a wizard. Yeah, SZA, she speaks so highly of Kendrick for that same reason. And when Kendrick speaks about Prince living through him, this is what we talking about. Prince, if you know the stories of Prince, this is literally the same foundation, the same respect for the craft, the same love for women, same ability to not only create for yourself, but create for others as well. So come on, man. I'm a little faded. Hey, you good. Rocky, shout out. Hey, appreciate you, Rocky. Appreciate y'all in the chat. Even if y'all not typing right now, appreciate all y'all. I know I'm a little late too. because it was raining a little bit hard, but appreciate all y'all. Let's see. All right, I'll end on this. Let's see. You see, November 16th, 2023, rap music has seen a 27% decrease in sales in 2023 compared to last year, and a 62% decrease in the 5 years since 2018. Can anything be done to revert this decline? And this was in 2023, right? And now we see hip hop back on top. The state of the Hot 100's top 10 for 2024. Come on now. It says hip hop reigned as the most common primary genre in the Hot 100 top 10 throughout 2024, contributing to 38% of all top 10 hits and bounding from a 23% take in 2023. Ooh, we wonder who could have did that. Every rap song to receive 5 million plus streams in a single day in 2024. Not Like Us, Euphoria, Houdini, Like That, Carnival, Type Shit, Push Ups, Man for Man, Family Matters, We Don't Trust You, Meet the Grounds. Come on, man. Kendrick Lamar, GNX is now the #1 highest rated rap album of 2024 with a score of 91 on Metacritic. It is currently ranked as the 3rd best rap album of the entire decade by critics. Don't call it a comeback. Rap is rebounding in 2024. I wonder what happened in 2024. I guess it's a mystery, right? So even though Kendrick, he tells a lot of truths, he lied to y'all when he said he's not your savior. He's absolutely the savior of hip hop. He absolutely saved this. He saved it, absolutely. We got to give him his credit on that. Even talking to me, going back to how many new channels he's helped create. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for Kendrick. This entire thing, it popped off so many different channels. It changed so many people's lives for the good and bad. So appreciate you. So I have nothing but respect. Like I said, this is not just a moment anymore. It's a movement. It's a movement for sure. Appreciate you.